The big question for tonight is the mystery of the golem. As you may know, throughout history, the Jews have been targeted, vilified, attacked, harassed, expelled from almost every country, attempts at genocide, pogroms, and more often than not, these attacks were justified based on lies that were spread. A blood libel being one of the more famous ones, where they would claim that the Jews had kidnapped and killed a Christian child, took the child's blood to bake matzahs, and then a pogrom would ensue as a result. So one such time period where this was very common was when the Maharal of Prague lives. And the Maharal was a master Kabbalist. And, Torah is powerful, but as you learn Torah on deeper levels, you're able to tap into incredible powers, almost miraculous. It seemed miraculous to us in terms of the abilities that one could possess. And the Maharal was challenged to a debate by one of the Christian priests. And Maharal, said, sure. And so the priest said, well, you know what? We're going to have 300 of our top Christian scholars are going to be in Prague next month. So I'd like to arrange a debate between 300 of them and you. So Maharal said, I'm deeply flattered by that you think so highly of me to debate 300 people all at once. But perhaps, we could even the odds a little bit. Like maybe, how about we do it over 30 days with like 10 Christian scholars and me per day? So it's like only a 1-on-10 ratio instead of a 1-on-300 ratio. And the priest agreed. And I guess from the Maharal's perspective, that's the best he's going to get. He wasn't going to get anything better than that. So there's a big, publicity that surrounded this debate. People came from all over. And day after day, the one Maharal against 10 Christian scholars. And it was incredible. It was inspiring, and it was embarrassing for the church because he destroyed them. I mean, it was clear to any observer, any objective third party that Judaism was quite an intelligent, wise religion with tremendous depth, a tremendous morality, tremendous beauty, and certainly not a place where people would be involved in kidnapping Christian children and making matzahs out of blood, which of course is prohibited in the Torah. But after the debate, because it was so embarrassing, a couple of guys decided, you know what, we gotta show him and show them. And they dug up the grave. The plan was actually, they didn't do it yet, they were gonna dig up the grave of a Christian child who was no longer alive, and then bring him and hide him in a Jewish home. And then, call the police, come knocking the door, hey, let's go search the house. And then, of course, what would happen afterwards. So the Maharal, I guess, was warned or was aware that something was going to happen. So he used, again, the Kabbalistic powers of the Torah to create what's called a golem. And a golem is something it's a lifelike being. It resembles a human, has many of the same physical features that we have. It does not have the power of speech. That's something that's only reserved for actual human beings. And in terms of wisdom, it's at the golem level, not at the wise level. So it's not the smartest of beings, but it follows orders. So meaning whoever creates the golem can order it around, and only he has the power to stop the golem. I should say only he, but only someone who knows what to do. But the golem otherwise is invincible, meaning a sword's not going to cause any damage, a bullet, a missile, nothing's going to stop it. It's sort of like the Iron Dome of the times of the pogroms the Jews had at their disposal. And so the Maharal created this golem, and when this Christian crew came in the middle of the night with the dead Christian child to try and plant in a Jewish home, the golem was able to catch them and stop them and prevent what would have been a huge pogrom and a massacre. So the question is, hey, I want to study Kabbalah. I'd love to learn some of these cool tricks. And And the answer is that Jewish learning needs to be done in steps, in stages. Just like with, mathematics, you first have to learn basic arithmetic before you go into advanced calculus. And with science, you first got to cover basic biology and basic chemistry before you're, creating a nuclear bomb, because otherwise you might blow up the world. And the same is true with Torah learning. And when you get to the deeper levels, there's greater potential for positive power and energy, there's also greater potential for destruction and for danger. And it's actually a pretty famous story that's based on a golem gone bad, known as Frankenstein. And that really comes from someone who was trying to play with Kabbalah and play with this power and didn't quite know what they were doing. And there's a book called Sefer Yetzirah, the Book of Creation. And it's said that if someone were to master this book, you would be able to create a golem. Now, in case any of you are tempted, okay, let me go take it out of the library or find it or whatever it is. Rachel are getting out her pen to start writing. So the author of the book, this Kabbalistic work, purposely put mistakes into the book. So if any one of us on our own were to try and study it, we would mislearn it and not succeed. Only when you have a trained Torah teacher who's already mastered Kabbalah and mastered the work, he could teach it to you and tell you where the mistakes are so you can learn it properly. So the bottom line is that in order for us really to achieve the ultimate success in life, all those, better than any of those self-help books, is for us to tap into the Torah that is available to us. We've got this perfect document written by an all-knowing, all-loving, all-perfect God who wrote it for us. So whether it's coming every week to Shtag, whether it's trying to learn Torah every day, or maybe even taking a trip to the Holy Land to spend a month or 2 or 10 to really build ourselves up, to replenish our spiritual powers. And yeah, if we keep doing it and plugging away, then we're going to be able to tap into powers we never knew that we had. But we have to start at ground zero before we head into space. So I want to give us a blessing that each of us find the time, the ability, the inspiration to learn Torah, to live Torah, to love the Torah, and not just to understand the Torah concepts, but to take those lessons and make them part of our lives, part of our persona, part of who we are, so that we could have the most enjoyable and meaningful lives, both in this world and the next one. Thank you all so much.